Appin is home to Castle Stalker and is a pilgrimage site from the members of Clan Stuart. Its name translates to Abbey Land in reference to the Isle of Lismore. Appin Old Kirk, now ruinous, holds many graves of Stuarts and McCalls. The parishioners petitioned the Synod in 1724 to repair the old kirk, as only walls remained, even going as far to estimate the repairs as 12,000 merk. A merk was a Scottish silver coin in circulation mainly in the 17th century. A merk was worth 2/3 of a Scottish pound. It's worth saying, though, that there are 12 Scots pounds to an English one. The Synod was basically the church council. In Argyll, the General Synod was held in Inveraray, and the Argyll papers at the castle hold many records. The Synod ensured monies collected would be used in a pious manner. That included church building and repair, making up shortfalls in the schoolmaster's wage, and more often than not, supporting the destitute. We will visit Old Appin Kirk and Castle Stalker at a later date in more detail. Prehistory in 𝕬𝖕𝖕𝖓𝖓 had many more islands due to the sea level being around 1.5 meters higher than it is today. It led to the stunning raised beaches we see around Appin, the caves and the stunning arches, the largest being 𝕬𝖕𝖕𝖓𝖓. A sea arch develops when a headland protruding into the ocean causes waves to refract around it. This refraction of waves concentrates their energy in specific locations along the headland, causing particularly rapid erosion if weakness such as faults and fractures are present in the rocks. Hence these fabulous arches, they are really something to behold. The cave is believed to have been inhabited continuously, according to Canmore, quote, since earliest times. It was still occupied in 1930. There are also remains of buildings littering the coast. No info on them. I presume they hail back to when fishing was prevalent in the area, as Canmore lists many fish traps also along the shoreline. Now we're going to tell you the story of the legend of the Appin Dirk. In the years after the Jacobite Rising of 1745, the government had a terrible reputation. They had been given orders to give no quarter, but they were basically running the country, burning houses and driving people off their lands. This particular story concerns a wicked redcoat sergeant and a milkmaid from Appin. As this sergeant and his troops passed through Appin, they encountered a young girl milking her cow. The sergeant, who led the detachment, leapt over a small wall and with no warning shot the cow dead. He then turned to the woman. She fought him off bravely, and his last ditch attempt to remove him from her, she got a large rock and she clocked him. Whether it was by accuracy or sheer luck, the stone struck the sergeant square in the forehead, knocking him over and stunning him. Basically, she had given herself time to get to the shore. She knew there was a boat and she could make her escape. The sergeant's men did follow her, but she managed to get her escape, move on to one of the small islands and shelter there for a while. The sergeant wasn't as fortunate. As the evening wore on, he got sicker and sicker and eventually passed on. The soldiers decided to bury him at the nearby churchyard, and then they moved on. The hatred of the government troops because of the treatment of the people after Culloden caused the young men of the village to decide that this sergeant was not going to be buried amongst their people. And in the dead of night, they dug him up and they took him towards the shore to give him a burial at sea. Just as they were reaching the shore, however, the young milkmaid's brother caught up with him. He had a knife and he cut off a part of the skin on the sergeant's arm. The sergeant was dispatched with little ceremony into the sea, and that was the end of him. It's said that the milkmaid's brother dried and cured the skin and used it to make a sheath for his dirk. Legends of the dirk spread around the area, and it really became a symbol of the Highlanders' continued resistance to this occupation. In 1870, the Reverend Alexander Stewart, who was in the area, was shown a dirk by a local man who claimed it was the alleged Appin Dirk. Apparently it had a dark brown handle, was soft in appearance, there was no ornament, and it had an inscription on it with the initials DMC and the date 1747. That's one for us to think about. I would like to thank everyone who has donated to the 𝕬𝖕𝖕𝖎𝑚 to help fuel myself, the van, and whatever else needs fueled to get round these fantastic historic sites. If you did enjoy the video, please like and comment. It makes a big difference to the channel. If you subscribe, you'll catch me out on my next adventure. Please feel free to join me on Exploring Scotland's History on Instagram and Facebook too. Thank you for watching.